to my computer. So how many chapters are there in the Bhagavad Gita?
I think 102.
No, that is number of Upanishads is 108. The number of chapters in Bhagavad Gita is less. How many are there?
18.
18. Very good. Very good point. Okay. So where was the Bhagavad Gita spoken?
In Akshetra.
Kurukshetra.
Oh,
Kurukshetra, yeah. Where is Kurukshetra? Yeah. So Kurukshetra is near Delhi.
oh.
So when you go to India, you may fly into Delhi or Bombay or various cities, right? So if you see,
Yes.
look for directions from Delhi in a map site, then it will tell you where it is. So Delhi is here, and if you travel north, you come to Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is in a different state. Delhi is its own state. Kurukshetra is in a state called Haryana. You see that?
Yes.
This is where 5,000 years ago, there was a battle between good and evil. So on the good side were the 5 Pandavas
With Krishna.
with Krishna. Excellent point. And on the bad side, you had 100 Kauravas with evil.
With Krishna's army.
Right. Krishna's army was also on the opposite side. That's a good point. So Krishna asked Duryodhana and Arjun, which one do you want? Do you want me or all of my army? So Duryodhana thought, oh, what can one Krishna do? Let me take all his army. And Arjun said, wherever you are there, Krishna, there will be victory. So I will only need you. I don't need anybody else. Even if you don't want to fight, because Krishna said, I won't fight. I'll just be on the battlefield. That's it. So in the end, he was just serving his devotee Arjuna as a chariot driver. Right? And that's why you see, if you go back to Kurukshetra, you will see Krishna being a chariot driver of Arjuna. You see this? If you
Yeah.
go to Wikipedia. So Krishna never fought. But Arjun said, just by being with us, we will win. Okay, so even if you don't fight, I'm okay with that, Krishna. Right? So
Yeah.
this is called a chakra view. So it will be the shape of a wheel. So you go from one end, you go around, you break that chakra view, go in the interior. Interior are all the main warriors. You fight with them. If the main warriors are killed, then the other parties will simply run away from the battlefield.
Some of them only can go into the Yuham.
Right. So there are a lot of movies, a lot of YouTube videos which talk about all of that. But what we will talk about here is more the philosophy of what Krishna taught Arjun. Okay? So what Krishna taught Arjun is very important. And the reason being is he gives not only the instruction to fight to Arjun, but he also gives a lot of philosophy. What is karma, action? What is jnana, knowledge? What is dhyana, meditation? Right? So he gives a lot of knowledge. So that is why it becomes very important to basically learn the Bhagavad Gita. So the first chapter is observing the armies. So there's no fighting going on here. There's no philosophy. Arjun says, oh, Krishna, please take me into the middle of the battlefield. I want to see who has come to fight, who is willing to fight. Right?
Yes.
Chapter 2 is contents of Gita summarized. It basically gives you a summary of all the Bhagavad Gita topics. Chapter 3 is Karma Yoga. Karma means action. Right? When you go to high school, you will learn about something called Newton's laws of motion. And Newton's third law is, anybody know what Newton's third law is? What is-
Every action has an opposite reaction.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So karma, any action that you do will have a opposite reaction. So if you go and slap somebody, that somebody may slap you. Or if they may not slap you right away, but they will wait for the right opportunity and get back to you. Right?
Yes.
Then chapter 4 is transcendental knowledge. Transcendental means something that is out of the material realm, very spiritual knowledge. So that is transcendental knowledge. Chapter 5 is karma yoga, in action in Krishna consciousness. So you can do karma yoga by, like when you do karma means activity, you can also do yoga. Yoga means linking the soul with the super soul, linking the Atma with the Paramatma. So in your body, there are two people. One is you, the soul, and the second person is Paramatma, super soul. Param means super, and Atma means soul. So Paramatma means super soul. So the Paramatma in your heart is always giving you guidance. Sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't listen. Right? So
Yes.
sometimes we listen and sometimes we rebel and we pay the consequence. Like one person was telling me, he felt like he should not go somewhere. So he went there anyways, and then he met with an accident. So Paramatma was trying to warn him from his heart, hey, don't do it. But he still insisted on doing it, and he got into an accident. You get the point? So we have to basically first understand who Paramatma is. Paramatma is sitting in our heart, and he is giving from time to time instructions from inside. And the same instructions are also given by a guru from outside, like that. Chapter 4 is transcendental knowledge. So it is knowledge which is not within the material realm. Chapter 5 is acting, but acting for Krishna, means acting for God. So you can do things for yourself, like play soccer or play this and that, or you can do action for Krishna, which means like cleaning the temple, making nice prasadam, calling other people and giving them prasadam, right? Maybe teaching them Bhagavad Gita. So I'm right now doing chapter 5 because I'm acting in Krishna consciousness. For the duration of the class, I'm actually doing karma yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, because I'm working for Krishna at this point. Chapter 6 is dhyana. Dhyana means meditation. So dhyana yoga is yoga of meditation. Right? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so chapter 7 is knowledge of the absolute. So who is God? If you want to know who is God, if you just read some general novel or Deepak Chopra's book, Who is God, you will not get that information. You'll get that information from the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because even in the Bible, they don't give you so much knowledge about God. They just say God, 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 right? They always use the word God, but they will not tell you who it is. What does he do? What does he like? What does he not like? What is he doing at this time, at this moment? Whereas Bhagavad Gita goes into detail of what are the characteristics of God, what he likes, what he doesn't like, how to make him happy, like that. Right? So chapter 8 is attaining the supreme. So how do you go back to God? So chapter 8 is how to, basically leave the body. We are the soul in the body. How to leave the body so that we can go back. Mukti or moksha or liberation in English. How do you get liberated and go back to this spiritual world? It won't happen now. We'll probably be on this planet for 70, 80 years and then we will leave. And then how to go back, how to get mukti or moksha. Moksha. That is the topic of chapter 8. Chapter 9 is most confidential knowledge. Here in this chapter, Krishna gives more knowledge about himself. So chapter 7 is knowledge. Chapter 8 is more confidential knowledge, and chapter 9 is most confidential knowledge. So chapter 9, he gives the complete detail of who he is, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he wants from us, right? Like sometimes we say, oh, so what does God want from me? Nobody knows, right? So that is described in chapter 9. We think going to the temple in Frisco and putting like $2 in the hundi, folding our hands in front of him and coming out is sufficient, right? Most people do that. Most Hindus just go to temple, quickly say hi to God and come out. But to know what he really wants, we have to read the Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you will just, it is called drive-by devotion. You just go and say hi to God and get out. And most people don't even sit for very long in temple. 5 minutes, they are out. Right? It's just like saying hi, bye, like that. So, but God has a specific set of, Krishna has a specific set of instructions or guidelines that he gives. He says, this is what you should do in order to please me. Right? So this knowledge you will not get in your school, public school, or in any place. This knowledge is not taught in the public schools or private schools. This knowledge is only taught in the ashrams and the parampara. So I belong to one of the parampara. That's why I'm teaching this. Right? I belong to what's known as Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. So head of our Sampradaya is Brahma. Brahma is the material engineer. What does engineer do? He'll build things from various metals and materials. So same thing, Brahma used various materials to create our universe. The scientists will say everything came from a big bang. But nothing comes from a bang, right? Suppose you have a pressure cooker, prestige pressure cooker in your kitchen, and your mom forgot to turn off the stove, and you put the pressure weight on the top, and the heat is coming and coming and coming. At one point, the pressure cooker explodes, a big bang in your kitchen. So when the pressure cooker explodes, will you have a new universe in your kitchen?
No, you'll
No.
have a disaster.
You will have a $1,000 bill to repaint the kitchen because all the wall paint would be scratched and all that, right? So this whole theory that you learn in school, universe came from a big bang, is not correct. That those are scientists who are what's known as speculating. Speculating means they're just imagining things. Real knowledge comes from scriptures. So this Bhagavad Gita is called a scripture. Scripture means originally God gave this knowledge orally. Orally means he just dictated it. And his disciples were listening to it. But then somebody called Vyasa Muni, he wrote it down. So all the knowledge that we have, actually the Vedas, the Mahabharata, all this came from Vyasadeva. Because Vyasadeva and his assistant Ganesha, they wrote this down. So if you go to Himalayas, I've been there maybe, how many years ago? 15, 16 years ago. So there is a place, one is called Vyasa Gufa, means cave of Vyasadeva, and second is called Ganesh Gufa, cave of Ganesh. So Vyasa and Ganesha were jointly writing this information down as Bhagavan Krishna was revealing this knowledge. Sometimes Krishna doesn't come in front of you. He reveals the knowledge in your heart. Similarly, this knowledge was given to Vyasa in his heart, and then he and Ganeshji documented this information. So recently we had Ganesh Chaturdasi, right? Everybody celebrate that?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Ganesha's main contribution is to document all the Vedas, right? Just like your school teacher will ask you to write a paper, homework. Write one page on this story. That's the assignment given to Ganesha. And Ganesha wrote down all these Vedas as Vyasadeva was dictating. And Krishna was dictating to Vyasadeva in his heart. and Vyasadeva was dictating to Ganesha. So he wrote all these things. That was his homework, so to say. And then because of that good work he did, today we have all this information about who is God, what does he expect of me, how to make him happy, right? So the information comes to us in a parampara. Parampara means a chain of guru teaching the disciple, disciple becoming a guru, then he's teaching his disciple, then that disciple becomes a guru. In this way, knowledge, Krishna gave this knowledge to his disciple Brahma. Brahma gave this knowledge to his disciple called Narada Muni. So it is all there. It's all documented. Let me show you.
Is that the time when Ganesh broke his teeth and wrote the Mahabharata? No,
Yeah, there are various versions of that, but the most important thing is that he wrote it down, right? Isn't that important? Whether you use a pen or his teeth or using a iPhone touchpad or iPad, doesn't matter. He wrote it down. That is the most important part. Okay. So Krishna gave this knowledge to Brahma. Brahma gave this knowledge to Narada Muni. Narada Muni gave this knowledge to Vyasa Muni. Right? So Vyasa's assistant was Ganesha to write, but he's not in the chain. Because this is only the gurus that we mention here in this list. Krishna is called Adi Guru. Like in Bharatnatyam, you have a song, Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum, like that. My daughter is a Bharatnatyam dancer. So when she was practicing dance, I heard this. They call Krishna as the Adi Guru. Adi means beginning. First Guru of the universe. Right? And Brahma is his assistant or his disciple. So Brahma is the material engineer. Krishna is the spiritual engineer. Brahma is the material engineer. And that knowledge is then given to Narada. In this way, it came down to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And he has 3,000 disciples. One of his disciples is my guru. So his disciple is Bhakti Vikasa Swami. And then my name is Radhika Gopinath Das. When I was born, my parents gave me a name Ramesh. But then when I took Diksha in the Guru Parampara, my name became Radhika Gopinath Das. Okay, so now you get the point. How we don't come from monkeys. Like, Darwin said we all came from monkeys, right? No, we don't come from monkeys. Where do we come from?
God.
God, exactly. God is our father. I mean, not our father directly, great grandfather, like that. Right? So we all come from Krishna. And Krishna gave this knowledge here and he gave it here. Come down, and he came to here. So the author of this book, which has been put on the internet, is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay?
Then what about Vishnumurti?
Vishnumurti is none other than Krishna, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Vishnu, Krishna. Like somebody asked this question, what is the difference between Vishnu and Krishna? Right? So think of a high court judge. In the high court, judge is wearing a suit, is sitting on top of a big chair, and everybody is calling him Your Honor, like that. Have you seen Telugu movies? They say Your Honor, like that. They'll address him with great respect.
Yeah.
And when the same high court judge comes home and he plays with his grandchild, is he wearing the suit?
No.
And the grandchild is climbing on his shoulder. Like high court judge is very respected in the court, but his grandchild, he makes his grandpa into a toy.
Yeah.
And he climbs on his shoulder and say, Chal, Gurram, like that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Krishna was one of the Rupa of Vishnu.
And Vishnu is one of the Rupa of Krishna. They are interchangeable, right? So, Krishna is at home and Vishnu is in office. You get the point?
Yeah.
In the office, you are very official, wearing a nice suit and tie and talking in proper English. But at home, you are like, oh yeah, come on, let's play, like that. You will talk, right?
Yeah.
So Vishnu is very official. Krishna is very playful. Get the point? They're just one and the same. They're one and the same. So you cannot expand. I cannot expand. But God can expand into multiple forms. So Krishna comes as Vishnu, Vishnu comes as Krishna, like that. They interchange themselves. And not only that, they come as Varaha, Vamana, Narasimha. Anybody know Narasimha?
Yes.
Yeah.
Half man, half lion form specifically comes to kill Hiranya Kashipu. There you go. You see that? So Hiranyakashipu, this man or this demon was troubling his son Prahlad, who's standing here.
Who was a great devotee of Vishnu.
Huh?
Yeah.
His son was a great devotee of Vishnu, but his father did not like that because he wanted him to become a demon king. So that's why he ordered his son to forget about Vishnu.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So he was a great devotee of Vishnu, and his father didn't like Vishnu. He said, show me your Vishnu. I will kill him. And Prahlad said, Indu galad anduled na sandehamu valadu yendendu vetakina andande galadu. Means it's not like he's here, he's there. Wherever you search for him, he's there. So then Hiranyakashipu says, okay, is he in this pillar? I'm going to break open this pillar and see if he comes out. So he takes his mace, gada. Mace means like solid round thing with a long handle. And he hits the pillar. What happens? In order to keep his disciple Prahlad's word, Vishnu takes the form of half man, half lion and comes out. So why does he come in half man, half lion? Why not something else?
Yes, it's
Because Hiranyakashipu had a broom from Brahma. Remember, we all came from God. So we all have to come from Brahma somehow or the other. And Brahma's boss is Krishna ultimately. So he had a boon. No man or no animal should be able to kill me. I should not be killed inside the house or outside the house. I should not be killed when there is sunlight and when there is moonlight.
Yeah.
Hiranyakashipu, he comes, Vishnu comes as neither man nor animal. So fulfilling that condition. He sits on the Gadapa. Gadapa means neither inside nor outside. So he fulfills that wish. And then in the twilight, when there is no sun and no moon, right? Twilight is like the 5 minutes between day and night. So he fulfills every one of those conditions and he kills him. That's why he should not try to be too smart. Hiranyakashipu thought he was too smart, right?
Yeah.
So God figured out a way. He said, oh, Baba, you are so smart. Huh? I'll fulfill every one of your condition and still kill you. In a way, Hiranyakashipu wanted to be killed by Vishnu, right? Because he was the Dwarapalaka of Vishnu. Jaya and Vijaya take birth as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. You know that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaya and Vijaya are the doorkeepers. They did not let the 4 Kumaras inside. And
So
the
that they,
Kumaras cursed them to take birth on planet Earth.
and they came to Vishnu and told, you only should kill us in the earth.
Exactly. So it was his wish. And so God fulfilled his devotee's wish. Right? If somebody wants to be killed in that way, God is so kind that he will fulfill that wish also. Normally, you should not have that kind of wishes. Huh? You should just ask God for devotion, bhakti to him. You should not ask for all these strange things. Sometimes people ask for all these strange things, right? So God finds a way to deliver those strange desires. Anyway, desire is the root of all misery. Who said this? Misery means pain. Desire is the root of all misery. Who said this? Huh?
Vishnumurti?
No, not directly Vishnumurti, but when he comes as Buddha avatar. You know Buddha?
Yeah, Lord.
Yeah, he left his wife and kids and went
Yeah.
to the forest, sits under the Bodh tree and meditates. I've actually been there. It's in
Yeah.
Bodh Gaya in Bihar. Now it's called Jharkhand, a new state. So
I
I
think
went there many years ago. There is a tree. You can still go and see the tree under which Siddhartha meditates to become Gautam Buddha. Right? So he says desire is the root of all misery. So no matter what you desire, right? Krishna will fulfill it and you may not like it. Like once upon a time, I desired to have a big house. And I moved from a 2,250 square foot to close to 5,000 square foot house. So Krishna fulfilled the desire. But I'll tell you what the pain is. Anybody know what the pain is?
the rent.
Hmm?
Cleaning.
Say that slowly.
The bill at the rent.
Big house means big electricity bill.
Yes.
More maintenance. You have to clean a bigger house.
Mm.
Right? So Krishna will fulfill your desire, but better be careful what you desire. It will be only a headache later on. So better to ask Krishna to be his devotee. That's it. I want to be your bhakta. Okay, so that's enough for that background. Now let's go to...
Have a doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Krishna and Shiva both one?
No. Yes and no. So there is this verse in Brahma Samhita. Let me show you that verse.
Trimurti.
No, it is Trimurti, but I'll tell you something very important. It's a very good question. It's a brilliant question. Yes and no. And I'll tell you why. So in this web page, you'll have everything. Okay. Just as milk is transformed into curd by action of acids, but the effect of curd is neither the same nor different than its cause, that is milk. So I adore primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of work of destruction. It's very hi-fi English. Anybody understand what it means?
Yes.
What is it? Explain, sir.
Like the milk can be transformed to the curd, but like we'll use milk for something and the curd for something, but they both are made from single.
Exactly. Very wonderful answer. Wonderful answer. Everybody clap. Wonderful answer. That's exactly what it is. So is Vishnu and Shiva the same? Yes. But they're also different because their purposes are different.
Krishna is for like keep the life on, but the Shiva is for stopping the life.
Exactly. Shiva performs destructive activities to finish the universe. Right? Because universe also has a life cycle. Just like we are born and we die, universe is also born and universe also dies. So at the end of Kali Yuga, Shiva will open his third eye and he will finish this material universe.
And again the universe starts.
Exactly. That is why time is like a cycle in the Vedic line. Time is linear. Linear means one after the other in the Western thought. I was discussing the same concept yesterday with University of North Texas students. Right? Time is cyclical. Cyclical means it follows a cycle. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga.
And
Again,
every yuga has a different rupam of Vishnu.
different rupam. Very good point. Excellent.
Kali Yuga is Kalki.
Kalki will come, but Kali Yuga
Kalki.
will also have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came 550 years ago, and he gave us this Hare Krishna mantra. So before Kalki comes, we have to chant this Hare Krishna mantra and get liberated, attain mukti or moksham. Because in the end of Kali Yuga, human beings will eat other human beings. So we don't want to be around when that happens. Right? It's a very dangerous phase we will go through. So better to take shelter or prapannam or sharanam. Take sharanam of Krishna and get liberated. Like there is a song, right? Swagatam Krishna Sharanagatam. Sharanagatam Krishna Suswagatam. Sharanagatam means you have to take Sharan or shelter of the Lord. Otherwise, in the end of Kali Yuga, things will be so bad. So now Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Baba, chant this mantra and come back to me. But in the end of the Kali Yuga, he'll come as Kalki. He'll take a sword and chop off our heads. Which is better? Being chopped off or taking the mantra and chanting and going back to him? Okay, so let's learn this verse. This is a very beautiful verse. Okay, repeat after me. Kshiram. Everybody. Kshiram.
Kshiram
Yata.
yata
Dadhi.
dadi
Vikara.
vikarya
Vishesha.
vishesham
Yogat.
yoga
Sanjayate.
sanjayate
Nahi.
nahi
Tataha.
tatah
Pritagasti.
pritagasti
Heto.
heto
Yaha.
yaha
Shambhutam.
shambhutam
Apitatha.
tata
Samupaiti.
samupati
Karyad.
karya
Govindam.
govindam
Adipurusham.
adipurusham
Tamaham.
tamaham
Bhajami.
bhajami.
Okay, now let's sing like a song. I'll sing one line by line, okay? Kshiram yata dadi vikara vishesha yogat.
Kesam yata dati vikara vishesha yoga.
So everybody heard Suprabhatam, right? Venkateswara Suprabhatam. This is in the same meter. Like in music, there is a meter that you have to follow so that, you do justice to the verse. Kshiram yata dadi vikara vishesha yogat.
Kshiram yata dadi vikara vishesha yoga.
Sanjayate nahi tatah pritagasti hetoh.
Sanjanahi tate
Okay, let's start again. Sanjayate nahi tatah pritagasti hetoh.
sanjanahe tata pratiha.
Yeah, it requires practice, right? Like in
Yeah.
the olden days, all the kids about the age of 5 years would be sent to a Gurukul to practice Gurukulam, to practice the recitation of Sanskritam mantras. When you do Sanskritam mantra, your brain becomes very sharp. Have you heard of Sundar Pichai?
Yeah.
He is the CEO of Google, right? So
Yeah.
when he was young, he was chanting all these mantras. And I have an old picture. I used to have an old picture somewhere in my hard drive of Sundar with his one of the other friends, right? He's basically a monk, as a brahmachari. So they used to sit down and practice these mantras and see how brilliant he has become. So when you practice Sanskritam, your brain will be razor sharp. Okay. Sanjayate nahi tatah pritagasti hetoh. Ya shambhutam api tata samupayati karyad.
Yaha sambhutam.
Govindamadi tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham taham bhajami.
It is tamaham. Tam aham.
Tam aham.
Govindamadi tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadipurusham tamham bhajami.
Okay. So remember when I talked to Krishna is the origin of everything and he gave this knowledge to Brahma. Brahma is our creator, right? He is the Shushtikarta for this Brahmanda. But there are millions of Brahmandas or universes. That's why in Tirupati we say Anantakoti Brahmandanayaka. Right? Balaji is also Krishna, is Balakrishna. Venkateswara Swami is Balakrishna. And he is Govinda because he takes care of goes. What is go?
Cow.
Cows and calves. Right? That's why he's called Govindam. Govindam is Krishna, he is Balaji, he is Venkateshwara, he is Vishnu. He has different names. Right? Like for example, your name might be Veera Venkata Satyanarayana. And then your grandmother may call you Satya. And your colleagues may call you, hey, Veer. Right? And somebody, your teacher may call you Venkat. So Krishna has many names. So different people call him with different names. Get it? So, huh?
I have one doubt. In Trimurtis, who is powerful?
All three are powerful, but more importantly, Vishnu is powerful because Vishnu grants that power of creation to Brahma and the power of destruction to Shiva.
But like when Brahma and Vishnu are fighting who is great, then the Shiva came and gave a big poll and they told who finds the end, Adi or Antam of this poll, they are the best. And the Vishnu went down and Brahma went up and nobody cannot find anything, so that the Shiva is great.
Well, as I said, right, all three are great. What is the difference between Vishnu and Shiva? One is milk, the other is curd. Is curd not milk?
Milk, yeah.
Yeah. So you have to respect all of them. They are all running this universe, right?
They're all
Be
equal
running.
because
One is the starting, one is the middle, one is the ending.
Yeah, you could think like that, but more importantly, they are all working to run the universe together.
Okay.
It's just like if you have a company, one is CEO, one is CFO, one is CTO, like Chief Executive, Chief Financial, Chief Information Officer. Who is supreme? You cannot discuss like that, right? They're all working together to run the company.
Okay.
Right? Of course, Krishna has slightly higher edge because he's the CEO. So he has what's known as veto power. When Shiva and Brahma, sometimes they make mistakes. Brahma gave this boon to Hiranyakashipu that he cannot be killed by anyone, right? So nobody could kill him other than Vishnu.
And Shiva also gave some of them, but Vishnu
He's very
transformed
careful in
many
giving
rupas
boons.
and killed them.
Yeah, he's very careful in giving boons because he knows people will mess it up, right? Shiva moved to Bhasmasura, saying that whoever you put your hand on, he'll get to become ashes. And Bhasmasura wanted to test it on Shiva himself. And then Shiva was running, and then he goes to Vishnu. You know the story, right? So Shiva and Brahma sometimes make mistakes, but Vishnu is always very careful in the administration of the universe. That's why he's like always in the mode of goodness. Shiva is in the mode of ignorance, he is destruction, and Brahma is in the mode of passion, creation.
isn't Vishnu, Shiva, angry only when his third eye opens?
Oh, there are a lot of stories about one getting angry on the other, and they are both fighting. But that is just Leela, right? That's from an external perspective. Like you and your brother don't fight from time to time? Yeah, but do you not love him also? Yeah. So that is all fun, right? Once in a while, they'll have fun. They want to say, oh, you are supreme, I'm supreme. Let's get on to the fight. It's not like they want to kill each other. They just want to have some fun. That's it. But
What's the
demons, on
meaning
the
of
other hand, demons like Ravana, like Hiranyakashipu, they have a very bad attitude towards God. Right? So their attitude is what, see, everybody is a child of God. You are a child of the God. The demon Rakshasa is also a child of God. But you may have a good attitude towards Vishnu. Rakshasa has a bad attitude towards Vishnu. That's all it is.
But if Rakshasa also came from the Vishnu, like they need to have good affection to their father, right? But like why?
Excellent. Excellent question. But the jiva or the soul has free will. You know the meaning of free will?
Yeah, like it can choose its way.
Yeah. See, your mom is not always tying you down with a thread, a rope to a
Yeah,
corner of the bed. She is giving you freedom, right? You can go into living
Yeah.
room, you can go into bedroom, you can go to kitchen, you can go into garage, you can go and play with your friends in the football field.
yeah,
Because if she ties you always to the bed saying that you are my son, you should not leave the room, then you will have a, you don't have freedom, right? Because she
Yeah.
loves you, she's giving you freedom. Same thing, God gives us freedom. But Rakshasas, with their bad attitude, they misuse the freedom.
Okay.
Right? We are also misusing our freedom. That's why we are here. If we don't misuse our freedom and we turn our attention back to God 24 hours a day, then we'll also attain mukti, moksha, liberation.
Like that one is Vibhishana, who is a demon, but he has good attitude towards God.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's the reason he gave the Dwaraka to Vibhishana after Krishna's dying.
Yes. And Krishna didn't die. He finished his avatar.
Yeah.
God never dies. For that matter, you also will never die. You know that? When you
Yeah.
give up this
Like
body, you have new body that you'll get into.
yes.
None of us will die. We are all co-eternal. Look up this word, co-eternal. Eternal means there is no end to us. But what happens is we take from body to body. Right now, you're in
Body.
the body of a Telugu person in Plano. Next life, you'll have a body potentially of like a African person in Somalia. After that, maybe like a, some tribe in New Zealand, like that. So
The
that's
body
why
should be good or bad will be decided by the karmas we made in this janma.
Correct, correct. So there are various kinds of karma. There is prarabdha karma, there is sanchita karma. It's a big science. So let's not jump ahead. Let's go step by step.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you have good knowledge, which is good. But my point is, Krishna gives this knowledge in a sequential manner. So we should stick to it in a sequential manner.
what's the meaning of the third line?
Yaha shambhutam apitata. No, let's look at the word by word meaning. Shambhutam, nature of Lord Shiva. You see that? His nature is that of destruction. Why does he accept that nature? Samupaiti. He accepts that nature. Why? For the matter of some particular business. What is that particular business Shiva has?
Distraction.
To destroy.
Distraction.
Yeah, to destroy. Actually, Shiva destroys a lot of demons. But some of them he gives boons because they pray to him and they beg him for some boons. But Shiva's purpose is always destruction. And Govinda is the Adi Purusham. Adi means first, the original person. So God is a person, you are a person, I am a person. Get the point?
Yeah.
In the commentary, Srila Prabhupada says, Shambhu is not a second godhead or other than Krishna. That answers your question? He's not different. Because milk and curd, they are the same but different according to the nature. Because milk is in the mode of goodness. Curd or yogurt, because it has transformed by fermentation, it's in the mode of ignorance. Right? So one thing is, each thing has its purpose. I mean, you can use curd as a medicine also in Ayurveda for certain things. milk is used as a medicine. So they have their functions, right? So that's an example given to describe the differences between these two personalities. Both are the same. At the same time, they are different.
Like the three of them has different jobs in the universe to do.
Yeah, they have different jobs. They have different functions.
Where Vishnu do not do any mistakes, but Shiva and Brahma make some of the mistakes by giving some bad boons to some other.
Right. I mean, they're very intelligent people. They are far intelligent than us. But once in a while, they'll make a small mistake. That's all it is.
Okay.
Though don't they make sometimes we will learn the moral from the mistake.
Sorry, your voice is breaking up.
Oh. So they will do mistakes wantedly because to teach us a moral, right? Because from each action of the mistake, we will learn some moral from the mistake, right?
Correct. Yeah. Everything in scriptures, all the stories are teaching us something. Everything is teaching us something. Because, we are clueless in this material world. So the scriptures come as manuals. Just like when you buy a TV, you get a manual. It will say, plug this into PowerPoint, do this setting, connect to Google, connect to this, connect to that. Without manual, you'll be lost. So these scriptures, all the stories that we see in the scriptures are teaching one or more morals for us or guidelines for us. Okay, very nice.
Is Arjuna a god?
Arjuna is not a god. He is just like you and me, but he has been empowered by Krishna. So Krishna gives his potency, Shakti, to do extraordinary feats. Like Arjuna had Gandiva, he had Pasupatastra, Astra, Vayuvi Astra, all these very, very powerful astras. Right? He has been empowered. Means he has been given some powers. And the same thing after Krishna leaves the planet, Arjuna was returning back with Krishna's wives to Mathura. And you know what happened? Anybody knows what happened?
No.
Some robbers came and stole Krishna's wives from Arjuna. Is it possible? Arjuna, who killed millions of people in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, lost against ordinary robbers?
I think that's because the Krishna was not on the planet.
Yes. So Arjuna starts lamenting, crying. Krishna, the same person that you used me as an instrument to kill all the millions of people on the battlefield could not protect your wives from ordinary robbers. Because there was no more. Same thing happens to us. If you are in touch with Krishna, you become more powerful. But if you go away from Krishna, your powers will come down.
But like Arjuna is not away from Krishna, the Krishna only want to leave the Arjuna.
No, that is his decision, right? Because the Leela avatar had to come to an end. Avatar is a finite thing. Krishna will come down, he will do his job for 125 years or whatever, in this case, and then he leaves. It's not like a permanent position. Avatar is not permanent.
Okay.
Right?
But the God is permanent.
God is always permanent. You are also permanent. You were supposed to be in the spiritual world playing with Krishna. But you made some mistake, I made some mistake, so we had to come here for rectification.
Okay.
To fix our attitude problem. We only have one problem, which is our attitude. If our attitude is favorable to Krishna, we'll be liberated and we'll go back to him. If our attitude is still very lax, look up this word in the dictionary, LAX. Lax means careless. Then you'll continue to be here in the middle world. I'll be here. So let's use this life, human life, to get out of this material world.
Then why did Krishna died in Goa?
Why did Krishna what?
Why did Krishna died in
Krishna didn't die.
Goa?
He finished his avatar, right?
His work is completed.
Yeah, work is completed. Job done. Right? If you have to go to Austin, Texas to participate in chess tournament, So you go previous night, you rest nicely, take bath, morning go to the chess competition. You finish the competition. Will you still stay around there or will you come back home?
We'll come back to home.
Yeah.
I'll come back home, and if other work comes, I'll go there again.
Yeah, if there is other work, you go again. So Krishna has unlimited avatars. Avatarena asankhya. Asankhya means uncountable. You cannot even count how many avatars he has.
But like there are some names of avatars like Rama.
Rama, Narsimha, Vamana. All these are there. Like there is a song, there is a website called kksongs.org. And if you go here, there are songs glorifying his avatars. Vibhavari Shesha Lola Pravisha. You see this? Narasimha Vamana Shri Madhusudana Brajendra Nandana Shama. So he comes as Narasimha, he comes as Vamana, he comes as Madhusudana. So he has different names. And he has different names like this. Yashoda Dulala Govinda Gopala. Yashoda Dulala means son of Yashoda. Govinda means taker care of cows. No, actually Govinda means taker care of census and cows. Gopala means specifically the cowherd boy. Vrindavana Purandara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bara Ravanantakara Makana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrahari. Ravanantakara means killer of Ravana. Makana Taskara, somebody who steals butter. So he has many names.
Okay.
Right? So all this there. There's a very beautiful website called kksongs.org. You should bookmark this, kksongs.org. And also you should bookmark Veda Base. Because remember, this is where we started our journey. Veda Base, then that's where you have all these books. Okay, so I think that will be a good for introduction. Next week, what time should we do? Should we do earlier so that you have enough time to do other things like go to other games and other things in the weekend?
This time is good.
Should we do like half an hour earlier, 10 a.m.?
This time is good.
Okay.
Yeah, same time will be good.
10:30 is good.
10:30 is good. Okay, see you all next week then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyawad.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.